Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Help Awaken. My name is Garhen, and this evening we present mantras and their use. So nice to see everyone. Kelly snuck in ahead of you this time, Jennifer. I don't know how I think she cheated. I really do. I think she actually cheated. She did cheat. See? I told you. So this evening we're going to have a really interesting discussion about mantras. And when I say the master list, I'm actually talking about my master list. These are the only mantras that I ever personally use. Now, there is a slight exception to that, and we'll talk about that after. It's good to see y'all too. Of course, our picture of you is a little tiny icon. A really little tiny icon. Yeah, she did cheat. Exactly. You've been caught. So the reason we're going to talk about mantras is that mantras are very helpful. They are literally a mind tool. They're a tool to help us with the mind. And that is one of the most important steps that we can take moving forward, is to deal with the mind, our egoic sense of self. And that's really what we're talking about here. So the reason this master list is important, and again, this is my master list, is because this list encompasses everything as far as mantras go. It really does, in one simple little bunch of them. And I'm going to show you why. So the first mantra we're going to consider is Om, and that is the one I have here on my forehead. You know, I love it when little kids say to me, you know, do you have a gecko on your forehead, or what is that on your forehead? You could see the adult wanted to ask, but they don't. They're too closed off. But the children, they don't care. They'll just write out, what is that on your forehead? And I tell them about it. It's an Om symbol. Now, Om can be pronounced one of two ways. It can be pronounced Om as a single syllable, or it can be broken into three syllables, and that is A, U, M. Okay, into three separate syllables. One of my favorite of all mantras is a Tibetan mantra, and that is Om Mani Padme Hum, and we're going to talk about that one as well. These mantras are indeed mind tools. They're tools to help us steady the mind, tools to help us deal with aspects of ourselves, and we're going to show you how these can be used. And yeah, absolutely right, honey. Kids are awesome that way. They really are. So, Om, or Om, is the primordial vibration. You know, the ancient rishis, the people who were involved in the writing of the Vedas, and even before the Vedas, so 2,500 years before Christ and older, they knew already that all of creation was literally a vibration. And that primordial vibration eventually gave birth to light and to sound. And of course, in the vacuum, you wouldn't have the sound, but you'd have the vibration. And light was born out of that, and material was born out of it, and the physical realm was manifest out of that primordial vibration. And the vibration, the primordial sound of the all, is considered to be Om. And it is a beautiful, beautiful mantra to simply chant and allow yourself to fully absorb. Now, when we chant mantras, we have a couple different options. I really do prefer that people start with their eyes closed, and there's a really good reason for that. And that is you want to learn to visualize the symbol. So if you're going to use Om, you want to look up Om as the symbol, and really imprint the symbol on your mind, or perhaps gaze upon a symbol of it if you want to meditate with your eyes open. Chant the Om comfortably with your breath, either silently or out loud, and allow yourself to become fully absorbed in just the mantra. And what this does is it helps train the mind to one point of attention. Om is what's known as a bija or seed mantra. It is one of the primordial seeds of our being. And that one, of course, is found right up here at our crown chakra, that connection to everything. The mantra Om is the primary mantra of all mantras, for it indeed reflects our true nature. It reflects the true nature of everything. And in this, it is just a wonderful mantra. And that's one of the reasons why I have it on my forehead. As a reminder to myself and to anyone who's interested when I meet them who asks, that we all originate from that same place. We are all part of that same sound, that same vibratory state that gave birth to all of what we would call relative creation. Really quite beautiful when you think about it. We're going to talk about another bija mantra or seed mantra, and this one is particularly valuable, and I use this all the time in a Kundalini raising meditation. And they really are vibrational seeds because they deal with every aspect of our being. You see, we as a vibratory... Oh, have you heard of the Medicine Buddha mantra? Absolutely. Absolutely. There are literally thousands of mantras, and you're more than welcome to pick any of the ones you want. These ones here I'm focusing on because these are kind of like the general want to have in your arsenal ones. You know, if you do these on a regular basis, a lot of times you can avoid any need for additional mantras, especially specific mantras. So these vibrational seeds, these are the bija or seed mantras, and they correspond to the chakras. Now I know you're going to sit here and you're going to say, well, wait a minute, you just said, you know, the chakras weren't real. Jackie, I'm late, can we start over? No! We've missed you too. Actually, we've missed your icon because we can't really see you, but I mean, we're happy you're here this evening. We really are. You're just in time to talk about vibrational seed mantras or bija mantras. And the reason these are particularly valuable is these mantras can literally help balance the entire structure of our being. They cover us from the root right up through our divine interface, if you will, in the crown. Now, the reason these are linked to chakras, and as I said, you know, chakras aren't real as far as that goes. You know, if you were to rip the chest open, you're not going to find a glowing green, well, in my case, you probably will. But in most cases, you're not going to find a glowing green light. That's just because of my particular planet. That has nothing to do with me having a chakra, okay? These nodal points, though, are very real as far as our vibrational rhythmic centers go. We have all these natural rhythms happening in our body, these natural vibratory states, and our heart and every one of those nodal points react to the vibrational states of all the organs and the body around it. So the root or the root chakra, and of course we can look at these in terms of color as well, and it's helpful when doing a mantra to visualize the color associated with it if it is that type of mantra, okay? And the bija mantras, or vibrational seed mantras as I like to call them, are indeed color-coded. So the root chakra, or Muladhara, is red. And we can focus on that root region of our being, and we can chant the vibrational sound for that nexus of energy in our being. And that vibrational sound in Sanskrit is actually pronounced lum, not lamb as it reads. So for example, you would want to focus on your root chakra, and you would go through each one at a time. So your sacral chakra, of course, Swadhisthana, is going to be orange, and that is going to be Vam. And then you're going to have your solar plexus, which will be Rum, and that is known as the Manipura, or the and that will be a yellow. And then, of course, there's Anahata, the heart chakra, and that is yum. I always like that one, yum. And that corresponds with green. Okay? So, for example, if we were going to chant the mantra that relates to healing with all the energy levels that have to do with our heart, with all the vibrational energy that surrounds it, the only thing we have to do is sit and chant yum. So we could really like to a nice long gentle exhale in harmony with your breath. And you know, if you do that with your eyes closed, focusing on the color in that region of your body, even projecting the word yum, spelled Y-A-M, or spell it Y-U-M, it doesn't really matter. It is the vibrational energy. And that vibration, your body is mostly water. So that vibration literally works right down to the finest core of your being. And it gives me the tingles. Literally, I'm having goosebumps as I'm sitting here. So, of course, the throat chakra, or Vishuddha, is hum. The third eye is often done in various forms, but the accepted Vedic form is actually U, as in rum, though. So, is that right? No, it's actually U. It is actually U. So you would intune that one for Andya. You would intune that one U. The crown, of course, is Om, and that is Sahasrara, our crown chakra. These are the levels where the various difficulties that the human body experience, those are the energy nexus points. If those nodal points are imbalanced, no amount of someone supposedly playing with them outside of yourself will do anything. That's trying to fight a symptom, okay? What happens is we're the ones who create the imbalance. They are perfectly balanced and in perfect harmony with each other prior to the development of ego. Once we develop that false sense of self, and the further and further we fall asleep into the dream, into the illusion, into Maya, the more and more those nodal points will begin to become dissonant. I'm surprised you could watch from Facebook, actually. I didn't think you could. Nice to see you, Cindy. So, as I said, a lot of people will get this confused. Well, your chakras are not in balance, so balancing your chakras is going to fix you. No. Using these mantras yourself will produce the vibrational states within your body that will help in the healing that you need. And that healing is mind, body, and spirit. That healing is holistic. Those vibrations run the gamut of your being. And it is our egoic states, it is our false attachment to that sense of I and all the problems that arise because of that, that cause what we would call a chakra imbalance. You know, it is the energy node, though, that's becoming imbalanced. And it's becoming imbalanced because of what we're projecting, what we are doing to it. My struggles are real. Yes, your struggles are real. But they're not. And again, you know, I'm the first one to admit it. I'm outside working in the heat and working on the deck in the pond because we would like it done sometime this summer to be able to enjoy it. And, you know, that's the plan. Maybe another couple of weeks we'll be there when I can take some pictures, okay? Show off a little bit maybe. But the thing is it's really hot out there. And I will stand there and I will say, okay, you know, this is the illusion. This is Maya. My concept of heat, my concept of feeling warm are all concepts. Damn it, I need to get out of the sun. It doesn't matter whether they're concepts or not. It doesn't matter whether they're not really real. Right now, it feels really real. I totally get you. And talk about computer skills, you know, Kelly, I tell you. She runs from computers. She's very afraid of them, I think. We're going to talk about my favorite mantra of all now, and this, of course, is a Tibetan mantra. And the reason it's so close to my heart is I spent 3 years off and on in Tibet and stayed in various monasteries all over the country, and it was beautiful. It was. I didn't want to leave, as a matter of fact. Although sometimes I was on the run from the Chinese. You know, it wasn't that fun in that regard. Almost lost half my leg to frostbite due to hiding out in a snow cave in the Himalayas for 3 days to avoid a whole bunch of Chinese soldiers who were chasing me when I crossed the border from Kathmandu. I left Kathmandu actually, and was actually traveling the road the Dalai Lama had left Tibet when he had to flee Tibet way back in the 50s. Yeah, wonderful trip. But anyways, this mantra is incredibly close to my heart, and I use it all the time. And this mantra is not as simple as it may seem. For one, most experts agree that Mani Padme is actually one phrase, one whole word. Okay? Because in Sanskrit, they don't use capitals. I didn't need to bother. Too many problems. Get rid of them. It's too bad we didn't do that in English. But the mantra itself is, again, a whole being mantra, where the seed mantras deal with all aspects of the physical being, okay, and the emotional states of being, and the thinking states of being. The Om Mani Padme Hum mantra is specifically focused to deal with all the normal egoic issues that we have at a mind level. And it works, and it's fantastic. And this is how it's broken down, okay? The Om, or Om, or Aum, however you want to pronounce it, okay, is linked to generosity, that sea of consciousness, that ever-producing, ever-generous sea of consciousness. And it deals with, in chanting it, it helps us deal with the dissonant vibratory states of pride and overblown ego, where ego is 100% front and center, where we have no connection to our higher self. Om brings us back to that generous state, that state of oneness, that state of connectivity, that state of wholeness, and helps defeat pride and ego. Ma, the first part of Mani, okay, is about ethics. And that vibration is really about our moral standpoint in life. And it helps us deal with such things as jealousy. And we have to separate jealousy and envy. It's okay to be envious of someone's accomplishments and allow that to drive you to make a similar accomplishment. And I would only say that at a 50% level. Eventually you got to get to the point where you just don't care about what other people do. You really do. But the jealousy that we have over what other people have or you know, a person, anything that we perceive that they have that we don't, will cause us to violate our own ethical codes, will cause us to become less than the moral selves we truly want to be. The Ma part of the mantra helps deal with that, and its associative color is green. Ni is related to patience, and it helps deal with desire, overblown desires, and overblown passion, empty passion. And that color that is associated with that is yellow. And as you see from the rest of the list here, and you can come back to reference this video at any time, you can actually break down the entire mantra into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 individual syllable or syllabic sounds, which are going to have a vibrational effect on your entire being, and especially at the mind level, especially at the level where we struggle with this guy, the egoic, want it right now, me part of ourselves, the lower self, the little self. In its raw meaning, Mani Padme Hum means the jewel at the heart of the lotus. It is the recognition of that sea of consciousness of God, of that shard of the Creator resident in the heart of each of us, that glowing light of creation. Quite simply beautiful, and one of my absolute favorites. Why it works, why mantras work at all is, as I've said, our body functions in various rhythms. We function in vibrational states. The heart puts out a vibratory electromagnetic field that extends for feet outside of the body. Some say, that it can be noticed as far as 15 feet outside of the body. And it's true. If someone gets within about 15 or 20 feet of me, I know right away what sort of state of mind they're in. The vibratory emanations coming off of them can be interpreted because it's actually hitting our vibrational state. It's almost like a radar. You're really reading the deflection on the return signal to get an idea of whether the person is in harmony with themselves or not. Psychoacoustics. And psychoacoustics used to be one of the most laughed at scientific, well, it wasn't even considered scientific. It was called pseudoscience, quasi-science, not real. Well, guess what? All these years later, here we are with our bodies virtually 97% water, and we find out that psychoacoustics, the vibratory effect of sound on our being and states of being, is not only real, it's everything. It's everything. We see this illusion, and there's a cupboard above me, and there's the little angel and devil guy up there, and there's my my Zen flute there, my shakuhachi flute, my bamboo flute, and there's some papers on the wall and a computer here, but none of it's actually real. None of it exists like this. This is all interpretation. This is all collective interpretation. This is all agreement. This is what it is. But if I could see down at a quantum level, there'd be nothing but a cloud of vibratory particles flittering in and out of existence at different vibratory rates. Om Shanti or Om Shanti Om, I believe that is actually peace, to be honest. Perhaps Kelly could Google it and give us an answer. And she could take a look at that. I do believe that Om Shanti Om is peace, but she will double check that. All is vibration. All is vibration. The light coming through into our eyes is vibration. The energy of our being is vibratory. The lower the vibration, the more dense, the more coarse, the more towards the realm of matter. The higher the vibratory states, the lighter and lighter and lighter, and more towards the realm of spirit. And if you've ever read the Celestine Prophecy and the follow-up books to that, they're a really great read. And what it talks about there is raising your vibratory state and how to work with nature to raise your vibration. Mantras do exactly the same thing. Apparently, Kelly's having real troubles with Google too. Oh, I may have to come back to you on that one, Cindy. What is the meaning of Om Shanti Om? And click enter. But it doesn't work for her for some reason. So we'll post that after the fact. It's okay, hon. Stop crying. It's just a computer. You can go back to watching the video. What does it all mean? It means that our whole universe was literally spoken into being. And you know, that's what it really means by in the beginning there was the Word. Okay? It is pointing to the fact that before there was creation, there was a vibration. And Cindy says she's going to look it up. Give me an hour. Which time zone would that be in? Oh, it's pretty funny. You know, and here's the funny thing. You know, Kelly is a specialist. She spent 35 years of her life, or better now, teaching piano or playing piano. And that's what she does. And she's amazing at it. Me, I'm like a kid on a piano. I don't do so well. And you know what? I'm okay with that. That's her thing. I'll deal with everything else. Especially the computer stuff. Because I know she doesn't like the computer stuff. Every time I ask her to do something on the computer, there's that deer in the headlights look in her eyes. She makes the sign of the cross, sprinkles holy water on it, reads from the Roman ritual. You know, the power of Christ compels you. Nothing happens. Computer still doesn't work. You know, it could have been all the holy water you poured on it. So, you know, it's true. The universe was literally spoken into existence. It was vibration. Now, that vibration would have had nobody there to listen to. But we hear that vibration because the vibration is still traveling out. Always traveling out in this expanding universe. We have this massively expanding universe. And the funny thing is the universe is actually expanding far faster than it should be. And you know why that's happening? It's happening because conscious awareness is raising throughout the whole of the universe. Everywhere. That's why things are speeding up. That's why our universe is expanding more rapidly than our calculations say is possible. Why? It's pure joy. It's pure conscious evolution, and we are a glorious part of it. And mantras coming back to that vibrational center of being, which is actually the truth of our being. We are vibratory beings. We are luminous beings. We are highly powerful spiritual beings. Of such a high vibration that we literally expand and extend from one point in the universe all the way to the other. All of it. It really is beautiful. This is the end of mantras, unless there are some questions in regards to it. You know, these are the mantras I use, and, you know, there are hundreds upon hundreds of them, literally. And you can sing them, you can chant them, you can speak them, you can write them, you can whisper them, you can say them under your breath to yourself, you can say them inside. You can write them on your body. Jackie, I was wondering about conscious awareness of others too. It's becoming more noticeable. Hun, can you read the rest of that? I can't see it.
That's all
Oh, well, definitely. Anytime this is really what happens, okay? If you think of the way our Earth works, the Earth itself goes through cycles, and in this cycle, you know, we'll go into an ice age, and then we'll go into a greenhouse stage. And so let's take a look at that. Both those stages are part of the whole of the earth. Both of those stages are representative of different poles. Okay, and in the Hindu literature, we would describe those as yugas, as these massive periods of time where, you know, a certain vibratory state is going to hold true. And what's happening is as we're emerging from the darkness and into the light, we're going to notice that more and more people are becoming consciously aware. But there's a flip side to that. In this time, in equal amount, in equal measure, we will see unconsciousness bloom on the planet. The risk of war goes up. The risk of us doing harm to each other at nation-state levels goes up. Why? Because it's all coming to this glorious volcanic eruption point, where we are going to blow ourselves consciously forward, or we are going to blow ourselves back to the Stone Age. And it's okay. We have the choice all the time, and we're never going to lose that choice, and that choice will always come back. We've been here as a species again and again and again in these cycles. Every time we come a little further up in conscious awareness, and then, oops, we lose it. And you know, there was actually a rising conscious event in the 80s, believe it or not, and that is when the Berlin Wall fell. You know, I don't remember if you remember, but I remember. I was there. And when that wall fell, there was a surge of joy and conscious awakening across the globe, but it didn't quite catch. It was suppressed by a new terror, a new fear, and that was, of course, terrorism. Because now Russia no longer existed as the USSR, okay, and you had all these little nation states with weapons who had them all in the black market for sale, and that was the new worry. You didn't have to worry about Russia, they said all along. What you should have been worrying about is the one madman with a single weapon. And that was the fear that we brought into again. We bought that. It is amazing to see, Jackie. We have to take the good with the bad. And sooner or later, we have to understand that there is no good and there is no bad. It's all good. Even what we perceive as bad. And I know it's not easy. You know, like I said this morning, when I was in Ethiopia burying 4 or 5 children who'd starved to death each week, you couldn't have convinced me that their death was good. But you know, sooner or later, the good will come. And the good will come when finally enough of us are awake to say, no more will anyone on this planet suffer in this way. Ah, Jennifer says you were in Germany when the wall fell. So was I. You know, were you there at the wall? Because if you are, we probably saw each other. Yeah, I was one of the guys standing on the wall waving a flag going, woo! That was me. I admit it. Kelly, she was in a church revival. Yeah, it figures, you schoolgirl. Bible school. So, yeah, you know, we have the ability to consciously raise our own consciousness, and through that is the best gift that we give others. The best gift that we share is our own rising consciousness, our own awakening, because as we awaken, we begin to express ourselves. We begin to come in alignment with the gifts that we have. We come in alignment with the true path that we want to be on, and we begin to shine. And that's what the world needs right now. More and more and more people shining in every single way. Much love. Namaste to you all. It's been a wonderful little video, and we will see you on Friday with another live video. Details to follow. Have a wonderful night. Take care of yourself. Spend some time practicing the mantras and see how much they'll affect your life. And you know, if you're in the middle of a situation and you're feeling anxiety or you're feeling stressed or pressured, you can just be standing there in the midst of all that chaos, chanting that mantra in your own little peaceful place. Much love to you all. Have a wonderful night.